Did you give us your blessing, Mom?
I will just tell you, you hurt my daughter. I will cut your balls off.
Off with you, and gonna cut you clean.
Yes, totally.
Yeah.
Only thing, and this is just me, I like my testicles attached to my body.
Love is Blind Season 7 is back with 3 more episodes, and these ones will shock you, anger you, and frankly, kinda gross you out a bit.
Could you imagine being the first man with a legitimate vagina? I'd be able to compare now the difference between getting kicked in the nuts and giving birth.
So episodes 7 through 9 are going to take us from the honeymoon phase of the experiment in Mexico and back to Washington, D.C. to face the realities of the real world. But of course, not before we deal with the fallout between Alex and Tim.
I am more than willing to keep exploring this.
Knowing that he came in today, that he had every intention of this being the last conversation, and now he wants to have another conversation, gives me the optimism that it's going in the right direction.
She says while looking absolutely depressed. So these two aren't done yet. But what about our other couple that kinda left things off with a little argument, Steven and Monica? Well, things are about to go from little nitpick to festering wound to full-blown necrosis of the relationship, and it's gonna turn up to 11 in a weird and wild way. Now, it begins with this.
I feel like there is something that's been kind of weighing on me and bothering me. I just want to address it. In the pod, I remember you specifically telling me we're together, I'm gonna get you flowers.
I was using that as a concept.
And at first I was like, okay, that's not the worst. I mean, they're on vacation, they're busy, doesn't mean much. But then he starts expressing that he's feeling anxious out of nowhere.
Such a massive decision, and I just don't want to feel forced into doing something.
I mean, that's what you signed up for, but okay.
You know, if suddenly I'm having second thoughts, the next thing you know...
Are you I'm so confused that you're saying this right now.
I know. No, I'm
literally, I'm so confused.
Yeah, this is strange. I mean, maybe he's just a horrible communicator. Maybe he means it's overwhelming because a lot is happening. But no. If we're at a 4 or a 5 on the weird scale right now, it's about to go up to an 8, as we have one more couple's get-together in Mexico, and Steven is in top form. First, he skips out on watching a fireworks display to talk with Garrett about something, which gets Monica feeling alone, but then he starts to explain how Garrett needed to get something out, and how important it is for people to really be solid with their couples or something, because...
This situation, suddenly you have this spotlight on you. And for a lot of guys, there are women that are homewreckers out there that are I don't give a what your situation is. I want to suck your dick.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
What's happening?
What the actual
Now this had me feeling dazed, what on earth is happening right now? He also says this.
You will be tempted in a situation that you've never been tempted before. You're going to eventually have people confronting you. People that know you.
And I'm like, is this guy just eccentric, or is he projecting? Are we just getting a little peekaboo into his mind right now? Kinda feels like these are the things he's thinking about. Now on that note, it's time for everyone to go and face all those women ready in the DMs and boogeymen who claim to know you coming out with allegations in the real world. As we're about to enter the phase in the experiment where the couples get to live with each other and meet each other's families. And here we'll get to learn a lot about these people, maybe too much. I mean, Hannah continues to let Nick know she's more mature than him.
I'm younger than you, and I'm more mature than you.
You think you're more mature than me?
Yeah.
And at first I was like,
you sure about that? You sure about that? You sure about that?
But then we see that Nick still lives with his parents, which, okay, fine. He says it's because of football and it didn't make sense for him to have a place and pay rent when he wasn't going to be staying there often. However, his parents still pay his phone bill, and they obviously never taught him how to cook pasta.
Nick, you literally said, Hannah, do you need help with anything? I said, would you like to boil some pasta? He said, no.
I don't see any pasta in here.
No, it's in the cabinets.
Bro is looking for pasta in the fridge. He better be thinking about that gourmet homemade stuff. I know he isn't, but come on.
What should I turn it to? Just medium, in between medium and high?
You just heat it to a boil. You know how to boil pasta, right?
I've done it once.
You've only boiled pasta once?
Okay, how old is Nick again? 28? Okay, alright, I guess you gotta learn sometime. Now these two are actually not the worst couple, though that's not saying much. They do have tiffs, like he goes on about how mean she can be, but in a joking way. However, when he does the same thing, she acts like he crossed the line, which even Hannah's family agrees on.
That's 20th time. It's like, okay, that's been like my issue with her.
Are y'all not gonna grill him or what?
I think you've grilled him plenty.
Yeah, even mom and dad are not disagreeing with how tough Hannah can be.
There's just like characteristics and things he does that.
Well, Hannah, if that was the case, we would have thrown you out a long time ago.
Yeah.
But then Hannah really tries with Nick's mom and dad and gets them gifts and helps them cook. I mean, I'm not convinced yet, but believe me, by the end of these episodes, there are worse couples. Garrett and Taylor, however, are not one of them. Like, these two are my people. This relationship is what I want to see here. Two folks actively working together to make things work. Like, they meet his family, and you can tell they're both trying really hard to sell this whole experience to them.
I'm a clean energy consultant.
Okay.
Certainly a growing field, that's for sure.
She had her master's at Johns Hopkins.
That's impressive. Have science tattoos.
Yeah.
Even if we met in the real world, Garrett's really busy.
We wouldn't have met.
Yeah.
And by the end of it, Mom's in tears. But it's just that you can feel how important this going well is to both Taylor and Garrett. Total green flag. And the flag only gets greener when Garrett meets Taylor's friends, and the topic of him moving far away from his family to San Diego comes up.
What I have with Taylor is like far and above worth like giving up everything over.
Oh, precious Jesus.
We are going to start our own family and our own story, and that's what I'm most excited about. I think that like that is like the holy grail of life.
Beautiful emotional response, you cutie patootie.
Now Ashley and Tyler here are also on the marriage path. I mean, they talk about kids like all the time.
I get to choose our kid's name.
Nah. Alright.
You could be co-counsel.
Middle name. Okay. The boy.
Deal.
But just hold on to that thought, cause we're gonna come back to this stuff. And even Tim and Alex rise above some of these couples, especially when Tim meets Alex's family. In particular, her father, who's apparently a tough nut to crack. So much so, Alex hasn't even told him that she's engaged.
I'm interested to meet him. I can't say I'm excited.
But then Dad meets Tim and learns he was in the military, and I don't know, maybe he had this player image in his head of who was going to walk through the door, but with Tim, he starts to like him.
I'm a big golfer, so that's like...
Oh my God.
Yeah, I was born in England too. So,
oh really?
And
yeah.
so was he.
Yeah, I think, yeah, she told me that.
Yeah.
And when Tim reads him the letter he addressed to Alex's dad that he read to her in the pods, and asks for her hand in marriage, Dad goes,
We just met, but I believe in you. I accept you as my son.
Y'all, I'm in tears. I mean, I still don't have faith in this couple, but I have a heart, you know. But alright, now let's get back to some of the mess. First is Ramsy and Marissa, who are like so on top of each other in every sense of the word. Well, except when it comes to her military past. She says she feels conflicted about her time in the military, like she doesn't always approve of the decisions of the government or that the army makes, but she supports troops like herself. Ramsy's, though, is not of the same mindset.
They sacrifice like a lot.
Again, but they're signing up for this, baby.
No, I know.
Okay, but you also signed up for a wife who was in the military. Still, this is a hard line for Ramsey's, and he has no problem expressing it to Marissa's friends, who also served.
I always stand with like people who are on the under the hammer of like U.S. imperialism. I feel for those people, and so like.
And oh, if Marissa ever re-enlisted, that's a big no-no.
That is like a
That would automatically be divorce?
It's yeah.
Not to mention, when they go to meet Marissa's family, well, Marissa's mom is a real tough lady.
He kept talking about his fashion,
Which I have to say is kind of off.
Is it off?
Yeah,
You're
I'm
not feeling
sorry.
it?
No, I'm not feeling it. The whole 80s breakdancing, like little tail thing.
Okay, bold of you to make fashion critiques when it looks like your wardrobe was inspired by Rosa from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
I was previously married. You go into a marriage, like you really discover a lot about a person.
Really, you're explaining a marriage to me.
Okay, rude.
To me, marriage is not forever. It would be nice. It's happy when it's happy and then it ends. You tolerate each other till it's over. I think that you and Marissa should do a prenup.
Funnily enough, Ramses is on board with the prenup, and Marissa's the one who pushes back on this. But hey, you know, at least they're working on their differences, which apparently now also include the fact that Ramses doesn't want to wear a condom.
It's not really enjoyable, baby.
I'm not gonna go on birth control.
We need to do what we need to do, but I need the sex to be enjoyable.
I guess Mr. Progressive has a line, and it's wrapping his little Ramses. But this stuff? Oh, this is nothing. Cause we're now headed back to Steven and Monica, where that weirdness dial is going to be turned up to 9. As this man just won't stop making sexual comments. Like here on this flower arts and crafts date he's taking Monica on to make up for not getting her flowers in Mexico.
Flowers are nice, yes, but I'm sure there are people out there that are like, if I do this, I'm gonna get laid. Cool. You know, and that is a great perk. I mean, let's be honest. You know, if you do something right and you get rewarded with sex, like...
Then afterwards, he sits Monica down and says he found out he didn't have a job anymore, but she's like, oh, okay, I'll be your sugar mama then, and he goes all googly-eyed, describing how he'd love for her to just use him like that, like a piece of meat. Monica, on the other hand, has backed off from sex after Steven expressed those doubts earlier. She just wants to feel more confident about where he's at, while Steven says, well, you know, this is just the way guys are.
I'm a man. You know, the wind blows in the right direction, and I'm like, fuck.
And this seems to be like a hyperfixation for him. I mean, I get it, I'm a dude too, but there have been multiple comments.
So anyway, how about anal, huh?
Just call this man Stephen King, cause he has a way with words, and it's often horrifying. And also sexual. But alright, this is all leading to the moment where Steven cranks the weirdness all the way to 11. And it begins with yet another scene that just suddenly starts in utter chaos.
I'm shocked right now. I'm just so sorry. He went and did a sleep test last night. Did he do a sleep test last night? I don't know. He didn't sleep here.
So Taylor and Garrett, by the way, love these two right now.
So hot right now.
They're here to support Monica because something happened. There's a sleep test, there's text messages involved, and Taylor's talking about how weird it was that Steven brought up girls DMing him to blow him. Then Steven is just right there getting a snack or something, like, hello sir, you realize they're talking about you? So Taylor goes off and Steven sits down, and something happened where Monica found some wild and horrid text messages.
Reading those text messages filled with fetishes and coming, like, it's disgusting, Steven.
You're right.
Stop acting like you're right. I know I'm right. Say something else.
Wow, now all that over-sexualization is starting to make sense. So apparently he was texting someone and it was deeply sexual and there were plans to cheat. And right now, Steven is just in damage control, trying to say as little or whatever he can to reduce the blowback, which, funnily enough, is exactly the opposite of what he was hoping for, because a blowback is one of the things he was hoping this other woman would give him.
I did make a completely stupid mistake while being drunk at a sleep test with somebody who texted me.
I am sorry, what? I kid you not, I paused my TV and took a breath at this point. I have never been so dumbfounded. Good sir, are you saying you went to a sleep test drunk? And that's why you started to sext someone with plans to cheat? At a sleep test? This honestly gaslit me. I had to Google if some sleep tests ask you to come drunk for Lord knows why, because this was so out of pocket. Did you really think this was believable and not the most stupid lie ever conceived? The man obviously told Monica he was going to a sleep test and instead went to a bar or something and then ended up sexting this woman. So Monica then asks him to Venmo her immediately the money he owes her for the past few days, and I would also like to formally ask him to Venmo me the brain cells he just caused me to lose.
You texted her today, and the really gross ones were today. So don't f***ing lie to my face. Were you guys texting today?
No.
You weren't texting today. Okay, let me see your phone.
I deleted the message.
Of course you did.
Oh, this man takes the cake. He takes the whole damn bakery.
They started yesterday, and they went through today.
I honestly don't remember.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
I shouldn't have come on the show.
What a selfish thing to say. What a selfish piece of shit. You put a ring on my finger, and now you shouldn't have been on the show?
So Taylor and Garrett come back to comfort Monica, and Steven slinks out to get high for his upcoming driver's test or something and wait for all those sexy DMs to come his way. But if you hit the floor before, get ready for round 2, as this show is not done with the surprise drama scenes. This time, it's with rock-solid Tyler and Ashley, who've been so talkative about having kids. She wants 2, could maybe go for 3 if the first 2 are both boys. Tyler, though, definitely wants 3, which is pretty funny cause he's already got them.
But they are your kids. And it's with someone that you know. What are their genders?
2 girls and a boy.
No, the drama, the unhinged twists and turns.
My little heart can barely take it no more.
So apparently Tyler has 3 kids, but they're sperm donor kids. That being said, it wasn't an anonymous thing. This was for someone he knows. But that's not the bad part, it's that he never told her. She's just finding out about it now, after the pods, after the proposal.
What you're feeling is valid.
Mm-hmm.
And just sitting here right here, I'm not asking for forgiveness, I'm just asking for a chance.
And so, these 3 episodes end with what I thought was a lock of a couple now in freefall. And honestly, thank goodness for Love is Blind, Captain America, and Olivia Munn, because otherwise, there'd be no hope for this season. So that's it for this recap of Love is Blind, Season 7, Episodes 7 through 9. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a like, comment your thoughts and predictions down below, and subscribe to the channel for more content. And until next time, Bachelor Fantake out.
I did make a completely stupid mistake while being drunk at a sleep test with somebody who texted me.
What the actual